Hi guys, I'm here to talk to you about Class Dojo. It's an online tool that teachers can use to track and reward positive behavior and to also show students and parents what they can work on to improve their behavior if they're struggling. The technology standards that my video addresses are standards 2B and C for teachers. The purpose of my video is to show teachers how to set up their classes online and what they can reward students for and how they can show students what they need to be working on. I've heard about this website through a lot of my teachers at my school. Many of them use it or have used it in the past, and it seems to be pretty successful, so I thought I would take a look at it and see what it had to offer. So right now I am logged into my home page. I created an account and I created then a test class. This demo class is actually set up by Class Dojo. I went in and then created a test class. You can do that through hitting the Add Class button and creating a name and selecting the grade of the group. So I'm going to go in and click on my test class, and from here you can click on each individual student. I've gone ahead and added some. If you want to add more students, you just click on the plus and you can add either one student at a time, and then they get this little monster for their little icon. Okay, once you've added your students, then this is where you can actually go through and give students rewards. So there is a positive section, and you can go in and reward them for, let's say, they were very helpful with somebody. I would click on helping others, and Ben gets a point for helping others. Maybe the whole class turned in their homework. I can go to whole class, doing homework, and everybody gets 1 point for doing their homework. Rewards you want to give a student isn't listed here. You can go up to your settings and click on Edit Class, and this is where another way you can add students, but click on the Behaviors tab and you can add another behavior. So if you wanted to talk walking back and forth to lunch quietly, walking to lunch. You can also give different point values. So maybe this one should be something simple that they do. They might get a 1. You can give them a 1 point value for that. If you, for example, wanted to change doing homework to something that you think that's super important, and you maybe wanted to give them 5 points for doing their homework, you can go in and change that as well. Parents can also be invited, and you just give them a cell phone number or an email, and they will get notified then of the positive and negative behaviors that their child is exhibiting. So far I've just been experimenting with the positive behaviors. Let's say a student then needs work on something. So still click on the student's name, but instead of under positive, you would click on needs work. So maybe they were unprepared or disrespectful. You can click on that, and then they actually lose a point for that. So again, you can enter that by student, or you can do the whole class. Maybe, unfortunately, the class was off task for a lot of the period, and everybody lost a point for that. You can click on off task. I've also thought about maybe having the class be responsible for each other and try to get kids back on task, and saying that it's your job, if you see students that are off task, to get them back on task. Otherwise, the whole class might lose a point. So that whole concept of teamwork and responsibility. So I thought that might be a way that I could use this. But again, the needs work gives you negative points, and the positive behaviors give you positive points and add points to your total. Bottom, there's some other tabs that you can use. The attendance button, if you click on that, you can update every student's attendance for that particular day. My school uses a different online website for attendance, so I'm not sure that I would use that, but if you don't have a way to do that online, that seems like might be a good idea. Award multiple, this might be helpful if you have a larger group of students. Instead of awarding the whole class, you can click on maybe if like 10 out of the 20 kids got the reward or they need to work on something, you can click on them and then give the points to multiple people for different tasks. And some of them are different when they're rewarding multiple. So maybe those 3 worked really well together in a group. You could click on the teamwork. Random selects a random student and then you give points to that one person. So maybe everybody worked well and you wanted to randomly give someone points for that. I'm not really sure if I can see myself using the random portion of this, but again, that's another option. And then there's the timer. So that can be used just in general in your class. So if you maybe want to have your students try to stay focused or quiet for a certain amount of time, that might be an option for you to use as the stopwatch, or there's a countdown clock too. You can also review reports for each student and see exactly what they need to have be working towards. You can see students, if they are completely green, that means everything has been positive for them. If they've got some negative, they would be in red, so they are unprepared for a quarter of the time. Obviously, I haven't given very many points in this class, so unprepared once counts a lot, and as you get more data, that one time you're unprepared would go down. But I thought that was a kind of cool feature that you could see as far as by week or today or the month, you can see how the students are doing. I think this app could be a really useful tool as far as sitting down with parents, maybe even at conferences, and showing them, okay, this is what the students are prepared for. They are exhibiting great positive behaviors, or it's also, I think it would be a cool tool to use if there's a problem, saying this is how many times your student has been unprepared. That might be something we need to work on, or you're off task, you're not being focused, not being a good group member. So I'm excited to play around with this website as I get further into the year and see if my kids will like it. I think they've used it in 5th and 6th grade, so now that we've gotten to 7th grade, they should be familiar with it. So hopefully it will be an effective tool in my classroom, and I hope that you have found ways that you could maybe use this website in your classroom as well.